starting a new segment I like to call Loadouts for Lanes. And basically, what that means is I'm going to be creating a loadout for whatever lane of airsoft you choose to go into, whether that be speedsoft or just like fun, casual weekend play. I'm going to be creating loadouts for all sorts of aspects of airsoft. However, I won't be doing milsim because I'm not well versed in milsim and I am not typically a milsim player. So today we are going to be creating a pistol speedsoft loadout. And one rule I have for all of these videos is it has to be under $700. So without further ado, let's go. The very first thing we're going to do is pick our pistol. And in Airsoft, Speedsoft particularly, the high kappa is the most used pistol. So I'm going to go with a high kappa today. There are lots of great options you can go with for the high kappa. You can go Tokyo Marui. That is the most popular one. However, I am going to be choosing one of the Vanguard high kappas. I believe the Vanguard high kappas are much better. They have much better parts, like stock, and they're just all around very, very good pistols. I'm actually going to go with the standard slide. I'm going to go with this one. I like the 5-inch or 5.1-inch high kappas more than I like just about anything else, and I usually run a standard slide because I don't usually play with optics very much, or iron sights for that matter, so this is a very good pistol. It's been recommended to me by a bunch of different techs, and from what I hear, it is a very, very good price for the money. Good deal. Okay, so now you're going to need some safety gear. So that means iPro. So most Speedsoft players run a paintball mask, and at the time that I release this video, not everything that I choose in this video is going to be in stock. So I'm going to be offering some alternatives to everything in this video. But yeah, just remember, just because I show you something in this video doesn't mean it will be in stock. So I'm going to go with the Empire EVS paintball mask. And I personally like the black thermal lens. This one's on sale too. That's very nice. And you have a couple of options for this one. You can go a more expensive route and do, say, like a dye mask. Let me show you one of those. This right here is a dye mask. It's a very, very like high-end, top-of-the-line paintball mask, but I've heard that these are not good for people who play with glasses. So if you're wearing glasses, keep that in mind. This might not work for you. But these are very, very like nice quality, like they are like the top of the line gold standard. So if you're not too concerned about price, I would very much consider getting one of these. And then if that's not in stock, you can do the HK Army paintball masks. You can do the SLR or the KLR HK Army paintball masks. I'm going to click on the SLR because I think it's a little cooler. But this is it right here. It's a very, very, again, very, very nice paintball mask, just not as high-end as the other one. And I personally prefer the Empire EVS one over that one because it's, in my opinion, better. Alright, so now that we have our safety down, we're going to want some mags, like extra mags for our airsoft pistol. So you have a ton of high caliber mags to choose from. However, I think we're going to go with the standard TM high caliber mags. I've heard they work very well in the Vanguard and are supposed to be very, very good. Or they are very, very good. I personally own a couple of them. I've only had one break on me, and that's because I messed it up. So they're very nice mags. But gas blowback pistol mags can be very expensive, same with gas blowback rifle mags, which is why I would typically lean towards HPA if you're a beginner, or not HPA, AAGs if you're a beginner, because AAGs are much more simple and there's a lot less maintenance, and pretty much like everything for them is cheaper. However, today's video is a pistol video, so I am only going to be showing pistol stuff. So now you need something to hold all your new mags in. So we're going to go, you can go two ways, or three ways really, but only two ways in Speedsoft. You can either go for a chest rig. This is a nice speed chest rig. You can go for a chest rig, or you can go for a speed belt. They come in a couple different brands. There's the HK Army speed belts. There are also some other brands like Cubbysoft and Speed QB are very nice brands, I've heard. But for today's video, for the sake of the price, we're going to go with a chest rig because they are often much cheaper. This one's about half the price. We're going to go with the Speed QB Nucleus chest rig. And now you need some pouches for your pistol mags. On most like stock chest rigs, it's going to come with M4 pouches, which is great if you're an AEG player. However, we want pistol pouches, so you're just going to look up pistol mag pouches. And I won't be leaving any links in the description for any of this stuff. You guys will just have to go off of what I've shown you. But here we have some Speed QB Proton pistol mag pouch inserts. We're going to do them in burnt moss because that's the only color they come in Quinn, which means 5. So there we go. Alright, and now that we have that, we need our BBs. And we are going to do tracer BBs because we're going to be putting a tracer unit on this gun. Basically, what a tracer unit does, these are very nice BBs, is it makes the BBs glow while they're flying through the air, which is very helpful for airsoft, and if you're in like low light environments and you can't very well see your BBs, it helps you do follow-up shots much more easily. So the Elite Force Milsim biodegradable tracer BBs in 2.8 gram weight. So there are two differences in the weight of the BB. So oftentimes people think the 6mm means how much the BB is going to weigh. However, that is not true. If on the bottle, often you will see a G next to like 0.3 or 0.2 or 0.25. You'll see a G next to that. And if you see that G, that's the weight right there. So like 2.5 gram, 2 gram, 3 gram, 2.8 gram. All of that's the weight. And I'm doing 2.8 gram for this video because they are accepted at most indoor fields. I know both of the indoor fields I go to don't allow anything higher than this, so this is the highest you can go. Alright, so next we're going to need a tracer to make these glow. Whoop, I spelled tracer wrong. We're going to need a tracer unit. And there are a couple different ways you can go with this. However, I personally prefer the Brighter C tracer unit. I've heard very, very good things about this. I've heard it works very well. So for this video, this is going to be the one we're using. However, you can get it. So Ace Tech, which is the brand that's made by, is like the top of the line tracer units. They're like the gold standard. Oh, this is the one I was looking for. This is a cheaper version of that one if you want to get $5 off about. So this is another option if that one's not in stock, or if you want to save $5 on a tracer unit, that one's very nice. So, there you go. Now we have about 60-ish bucks left, so we're going to pick up a nice pair of gloves because you always want to protect your fingers. It hurts a lot to get shot in the knuckle or the finger, bare skinned, and even if you have gloves, it still hurts, but it hurts less and it won't make you bleed. So you can pick up any of these. I personally use that are not sold on here. I personally use Fox mountain biking gloves because those are they're very like light and they're not restricting. And they're also full fingered, which means I'm like all my finger is protected. However, for beginners, I would recommend getting padded gloves. But like the HK Army Freeline Knuckles gloves, these are supposed to be padded very well. Just look up padded gloves, and you should find a whole bunch of gloves. You can just go with a basic pair though if you're not too worried about getting shot in the fingers, which is fine, but I would always recommend having gloves. So we're just going to put the EMG ones in. And now we have about $40 left. So for the last thing, we're going to do some knee pads because lots of speedsofters like to get down and slide around on the floor, and it basically gives you an extra pair of feet. So it's very nice. Don't go for like mesh gel knee pads. They're not good. They don't help you slide on the floor, and they just end up turning into absolute garbage. So find some hard-faced knee pads or like plastic-faced knee pads. Like, oh, those are gel pads. Hard face knee pads. So, oh, okay, whatever. So yeah, just like you don't even have to buy these on Evike. You can get them from like anywhere, like Amazon. I know makes some, but really the gold standard for these, what all the like super good Speedsoft players use are the 187 killer pads, but those are pretty expensive compared to some of the cheaper options. They can be anywhere from like 100 to 60 to 100 to 150. They can get very pricey depending on what size you're in and where you buy them from. But I would just say go on Amazon and pick up yourself a pair of like skaters knee pads. That are plastic faced, so you can slide around on the floor very well. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to like and subscribe. And be sure to screenshot this screen right here so you can remember all the things that you should get if you plan on going with all of these things. However, most of this stuff can be swapped out for other things. Like you can swap this for a speed belt. You can swap this for pretty much like any other paintball mask out there. You can swap these for Lancer Tactical Nightshade mags. You can swap these for HK Army BBs. You can swap this for the other Brighter C, and you can even swap these for pretty much any pair of gloves. And if you don't want to buy gloves, you can we forgot green gas. So basically what I forgot to put in here was green gas, and basically what that does is you insert it in the bottom of your mag and it makes your gun shoot. It's what allows the gun to cycle and make a BB fly. So you're going to need green gas. I cannot believe I forgot that. So Aim Top is the best brand on Evite. However, go to your local Airsoft store and just buy whatever green gas is best for the price. You can also do propane. However, that gets really stinky, and most of the Airsoft, like indoor fields, will not let you use it. So I just recommend sticking with green gas, even though it's much more expensive. So for real this time, that's the end of the video, everybody. Have a nice day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.